G'day guys, Josh here, and I know you guys have been thinking, hang on, we haven't had a state of the economy, we've had a state of the bot making, we've had state of the whatevers that I've said so far. That's been kind of crazy in the last few days because, to be fair, those conversations had to be had, about the bots in the game and stuff like that. But now we're going to go back to a regular state of the economy, and actually we're going to talk about, a bit of a side path about bots in WoW, because I was definitely extensively involved with bots in WoW as well. That basically you could see and you could hear bots in WoW as well, and how that wasn't all doom or gloom for the game. I think a lot of people got to realize that as well. Like, just because bots exist and they're not doing anything about it within like the next 2 to 3 days doesn't mean that they're not also not doing anything, and at the same time that they're definitely planning to get rid of them. Okay, because just an FYI with Warden, Blizzard's AI that gets rid of bots, it took quite a while to build it. But anyway, let's get to the state of the economy. Okay, let's get to our favorite little pet Nessie to get to the Harmony Shard. So the Shard market, I gotta say, it's probably going to explode with the changes, because what's happened, guys, by the way, is that a lot of the things that are tradable are now no longer tradable. So honor shards have gone up 8 gold a piece, as you guys can see here as well, and you can see here it's matched throughout the market as well. Harmony shards, this actually taking a bit of a dip, 101, and a larger honor pouch is 113. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, of gold making, is that if you're running tier 3 maps other than the ones that you get normally and stuff like that, you're probably not doing the right thing. Okay, you're probably losing money out there as well. It depends on what sort of tier 3 map that you get. So just don't buy tier 3 maps at the piece vendor. Buy tier 1 and tier 2. They're a lot more profitable. Life shards, and that 143, Harmony 101. So even if you get a blue shard map, you're netting probably about 600 gold anyway, which is pretty decent at the end of the day. The blue ones, as you can see here, 196, 288, and Harmony at 312, and then Life Shards once again going far ahead at 468. So things you want to probably do right away is get a legendary map from Phaeton if you can. Even if you get Epic, you're still making a pretty decent chunk of gold anyway from that. So we're going to say today, this week, I'll probably say on Voltan, get a tier 2 map, a legendary tier 2 map. If you get Epic, doesn't really matter. And also try to get a legendary tier 1, maybe a legendary Yawn if it's affordable. If not, just try to get a Rohandel legendary and try and get a Northfair legendary. Both rewards these Harmony shards, and both net a pretty good sum as well. You get 8 of these, you get 2.4k, and very, very good gold basically. That's how you make gold basically, is just selling these shard pouches to a lot of the whales who are stuck in those lower areas. And if even you don't get them, you can get these medium shard pouches. You only get 4 of them, but at least they're a good deal as well. And you also get Star Breaths and Moon's Breaths as well, which you sell for about 8 or 10 G a piece. Now, talking about these, let's just get the breath up as well. So the breath here as well, Moon's Breath selling at 17 gold a piece. You get 60 from a legendary map. So that's a nice, pit of gold in the back pocket as well, probably about 120 gold. And Star Breath, a lot lower, but, hey, 100 gold's better than a slap in the face, to be honest. Let's get to our next stone is going to be the stones, okay? Now, I think let's just get the Guardian Stones first of all. So let's just get the Guardian Stones here as well. So basically, Guardian Stones have gone down back to the 8G mark as well. I kind of expected Guardian Stones gone down to 3G, and Fragment's still 1G. I mean, this hasn't been changed for about 2 to 3 weeks. So basically, with the market going down, since a lot of people are getting to that 1445 region or above, the price is just going down altogether. Not to mention as well, the bots have been farming tier 3. Even though they appear to be farming tier 1 Northern, they're actually farming tier 3 Chaos Dungeons infinitely, because you can put those mats onto the market, which has led to a very, very overflow of the market as well. Given the fact that you'd think that it would go up, given the fact it would go up, given the fact that a lot of people are demanding more of these mats because the honing chances are getting lower, therefore the bots make a lot of money. Now, Destruction Stone Crystals still holding steady at 22G. Okay, they were lower before, still holding steady at 22G a piece. Okay, 22G per 10. And, weapons are more expensive. Generally, you require more Destruction Stone Crystals. You fail, you cost more money and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to recommend you guys here, if you've got any special mats that are BOP or anything like that, make sure they're being spent on your weapon, okay? So you can get more Artesian energy to get a pity hone if you need it, or to have a higher chance of getting the weapon successful, okay? Because getting the weapon successful in a higher eye level is probably more important than getting any of your armor eye levels up, because that Guardian Stone Crystals are a lot cheaper than trying to buy Destruction Stone Crystals on AH. So keep that in mind as well. Now let's check out the Leapstone market as well. So the Leapstone as well, funnily enough, as you guys can see here, there's a marvelous sleepstone. That's going to coming up a lot later as well, in a later patch most likely, which is going to be better than the Greater Honor Leapstone. Now, as you can see here, Harmony Leapstone's at 12, Life Leapstone's 16, pretty much like, at a similar place. I think Harmony's gone up by 50% of the price from 8 to 12, and Life Leapstone has pretty much stayed steady at 16. Honor Leapstones and Greater Honor Leapstones haven't really moved much at all. You can still purchase them via the Crystal Vendor as well to get a bit of a decent discount as well. Probably the only item where you actually get a decent discount where you sell on the market and then buy in the Mari store basically as well. And another market we want to check out as well, because this market should get a lot popular as well, given that a lot of people buying pots. Is the elemental HP market used to be 38G. When I didn't cast obviously during this point, but now it's 30G. And also to mention as well, there's a lot of splendid elemental HP potions as well. These are quite rare, and I haven't even got the recipe for it yet in my stronghold. So as you can see here, they're quite a bit, 70G. I guess say right now they're probably not worth it, given the fact that you can get the elemental HP potions a lot better overall. It only costs 30. You can make them your stronghold as well. Now the other ones I want to check out as well is going to be destruction bombs and corrosive bombs, which are used heavily for Voltan. As you can see here, weak point level 4, weak point level 3. Would be surprised if some people are running these for Voltan, but you can see here they're up pretty high in price. I'm actually a bit surprised by this, given the fact there's a lot of support packets that a lot of people have got, so they should have a lot of destruction bombs for Voltan anyway. And also you can craft them in your own area as well. Now go check out the corrosive bombs. Corrosive bombs should be a bit higher. No splendid corrosive bombs at all, but it increases a weak point +1. Really helps you out in Voltan, as you can see, 12G a piece as well. And last but not least, we're going to check the Dark Grenade, which is another very important Voltan piece. Still 13G. The Splendid Dark Grenades, however, a lot higher, and it's because it lasts longer as well. I don't think, too much into it. I don't think really anyone should really purchase a Dark Grenade. It's not really worth it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, on the other end as well, we do talk about accessories and stuff like that as well. We really want to get to that amulet market, stuff like that as well. So let's just take a look at anything with Cursed Soul and Grudge. Actually, you know what? We'll take a look at the books first. But anything with Cursed Soul and Grudge is just absolutely expensive at the moment. I mean, look at that, 9K for a Cursed Soul page. And looking at Grudge is probably about 10K. I gotta say right now, I've always said this before, not 10K, 26K. I've always said this before as well, that these books aren't worth it, okay? Like, if you're trying to get a 12 piece of Grudge, you should be trying to get a 12 piece of another book, which is a lot cheaper. Because, like I say, Grudge and Cursed Doll aren't really worth it to get on books as per se, compared to getting them on accessories. Now, in the long term, I'm going to say the books are probably more profitable if you want to learn them at the same time. Main reason why I say that is because you're going to have replace accessories as you level up. But with getting the book, you keep it forever, basically. Now, I would say this, you probably could get 12 in a different area. But, if you want to get 12 in a Grudge book, if it drops for you, go for it. I recommend probably not buying it unless you're swiping that card like mad. Because you're going to be spending 520k just to get 20 books of Grudge, okay? And that's probably a lot of money as well. Now, what I'm saying, for example, let's just say you use the Ambush Master engraving. You easily save, a lot. You actually probably purchase for about 80k, which is about 400k easier, and you can use Ambush Master as your 12 instead. Now, the main reason why these legendary books have been going up in value is that to get the maximum engravings, which is 5 3x and 1 1x, you need to have both of the equipped talents to be legendary to do so. Okay, just to be aware of that as well. Now let's get to the legendary stuff here as well, as we hit minute 8 of my video. Now, basically, we're gonna go for the special stats that everyone loves. Okay, so we're gonna go for the Cursed Doll and Cursed Doll engraving as well, and you're gonna go for the Grudge as well. So basically, Cursed Doll and Grudge will be an absolute lot of money. Okay, especially with specialization as well. Overall, I gotta say right now, a lot of anything with Grudge, Adrenaline, or Cursed Doll is insanely expensive. I mean, we'll go look at all the accessories here as well, and you can see, well, I guess some of them are pretty cheap, to be honest. I'm surprised that some of these are pretty cheap. But when you hit the max value of like 4 or 5 or anything like that, the cost just escalates massively. You can see here, Specialized Edition Domination, even though it's not that great, still fetching a fairly decent price. And I gotta say, probably the best ones, such as example 5 Grudge 3 Cursed Doll Spec, and high quality is probably fetching about 200. You can see the top ones are just getting obnoxiously, huge and expensive quickly in the 6 digits and stuff like that. In fact, with one of mine, it cost like 7k just to get Cursed Hole 5 and not the best stats on my earring, on my neck. Okay? But in the end, I did get one on my neck in the end, which was really, really good. But as you can see here, like, it can be quite expensive for it as well. And this is obviously just running out. One who's a lucky guy is going to get it for 18k. But you can see here, even a low quality one is fetching a bit of a price as well. I'd love to check all the market out, but at the end of the day, I gotta say, if you're trying to purchase Adrenaline, Key Blunt Weapon, Grudge, Cursed, Ambush Master, Hit Master, and anything like that on the same accessory, you're gonna be paying a lot, and you're gonna be definitely paying for the nose for it at all. And if you do get one, I gotta say, if it's good for you, keep it. If it isn't good for you, sell it. That's pretty much what I'm gonna say. Now we're gonna go to the Mario store as well. This has dropped heavily. It's actually gone up a bit as well. It's dropped heavily what it used to be. It used to be 750G per 95 blue crystals. Now it's 669. And I gotta say, it was very, very crazy on how it rose. Because I was like sitting at 600, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't get above 600. And it just rocketed up. Okay, just absolutely rocketed up. Now, I think I gotta put this down to is a lot of people's crystalline auras that they had not bought were starting to run out. And I feel like that also coincided at the same time that people wanted gear for Voltan, which boosted the crystal offers to an enormous amount, to 750. Now the Voltan stuff has gone down a bit. People still need to get their 30 days crystalline aura, so they're trying to get the 450 crystals and then put the aura up as well. That's why the crystals have gone up, I feel. And also mixture as well, people willing to sell the gold with royal crystals at the same time as well to get extra head up in Voltan and stuff like that to get to the required eye level as well. Anyways, guys, that's going to be enough for the, obviously the economy part. Let's talk about the bots part as well. So, the bots part, guys, if you guys don't know with WoW in particular, is that WoW did have a bot problem at one stage. Okay, WoW had a bot problem and a gold file problem where they had peons for hire and stuff like that as well. But when they had a bot problem, the bot problem wasn't really visible as per se. Like in the Wrath of the Lich King, for example, where people were mining underground and where people had select flight patterns and stuff like that for being underground to mine all the ore and to herb all the herbs and stuff like that, which was discovered accidentally by a player who mined the same node as a guy who was walking underground doing it with. We're gonna talk about how they did it in WoD. Okay, so basically the gold farmers in WoD would farm gold from Bastion of Twilight. So Bastion of Twilight was a known farm spot. Basically, a hunter could clear out 5 instances in about 30 minutes and get about a fairly decent chunk of gold. I think it was like 10k at the time. Could get 10k and they could solo it very, very reliably. I think 10k gold is actually a bit too much. Maybe it's about 5k gold, something like that. And they could sell the BOEs onwards as well. Because people did purchase the BOEs, like Twin Community and stuff like that as well. And also they did the mats and sold the mats and AHs before, of course, that they separated all of them into separate expansions, of course, where you still needed catamats to, get your enchanting over and stuff like that. Now, overall, they had about, if you ever /shoot Bastion of Twilight, which someone discovered later, there was always 50 plus hunters on any server in Bastion of Twilight farming it non-stop. And given that there was no queues, this is what I'm talking about, the visibility of it all, there was no queues for it, so you couldn't actually tell that there were bots on the server. There were about 200 to 300 hunters per server. WoW servers, they've got more than Lost Ark, by the way, were all botting Bastion of Twilight, going in there, doing the clear, resetting it, going to clear again, resetting it. Because back in those days, you could reset a raid instance if you didn't kill a boss. So they basically cleared all the trash on Windbreaker, reset it, cleared all the trash again, reset it. And they wouldn't get hit by the 30-minute lockout either, which initially Blizzard had to prevent people from doing that, from quickly clearing instances such as the Chinese gold farm and stuff like that. They were able to avoid it because they cleared it, took them over 30 minutes, which is a normal lockout to do. And it had this script on 24/7 where the hunter could just effectively solo it, grind gold, and then sell gold to people via the AH, which they did via, putting an item that's ridiculous up for 999,000 and you purchase via the AH. And those are sort of things that, it's not really visible as per se, so you can't really detect it. So a lot of people realize, with this bot problem in Lost Ark, is that the reason why we can see it is because of the queues. People have attributed queues to the bots. You can see the bots in Northfern. They're not an instance area anymore. Now they probably don't even have to be in Northfern. They can just alt Q and queue to Dungeon Direct. So that's not an issue. But as all these things like that, where the bots can now be a bit more invisible as per se, But still, I'm going to say the main thing that's going to happen is that they're going to blame the bots for any sort of queue that anyone has, regardless of what happens, basically. From now on, I'm going to say. Now, a lot of people have been posting this picture of the Steam graphic where they'd be like, this is the real players, where there's only 220k players, but there's 400k players. Guys, I would take that one with a grain of salt, okay? The main reason why I say that is that after a maintenance is probably not an ideal comparison of the actual amount of players playing. The main reason why that's not is that some people have to download a patch on a really bad connection. And secondly, some people use maintenance night as to do something else night kind of thing. So they won't be exactly playing Lost Ark. So be aware of that as well. Now, I'm not defending how Lost Ark have been handling this. Okay, I think Smilegate and Amazon Games handled this poorly. I mean, as I've kept saying, they're skipped on the anti-cheat. Okay, and the anti-cheat's not working. Okay, they haven't got a software like Warden that Blizzard took to develop, for quite a while, or any sort of bot thing that can eliminate bots quite quickly. Now, some people be like, oh, they didn't even get ready for an anti-bot thing. How are they going to detect that? Mate, you don't know, you got to realize, in the hacker game or the bot game, the game developer's always behind by default, because you don't know what the bot makers are doing to make their script work, okay? It's not like one script, Botmatic 24/7 and just use that script non-stop for every single game and it works, okay? There's different scripts they've got to use so they can hook into the game, basically. And they've just got to disable that script and try to make their gold-making ways less profitable or to break the bot altogether. And, it can be quite difficult. And sometimes drastic changes are needed, which is what they've done with getting rid of the, obviously the BOE component on the tier 3 dungeons, making it harder to make gold for the bots. Now, bots have arguably moved on to the Una tasks anyway. As you can see, there's an absolute train outside Pato and a few other areas as well where they're just farming the nodes all together. I'm actually very, very surprised that it's not camped Shushia, okay, and done that quest and then do the other things as well. But then again, because, Shushia is a very easy quest. It's a combat quest and that's it. Also, you can script Pato as well, which they're already doing. Now, the other one is Warden, okay? So Warden is Blizzard's bot software where they can detect hackers and bots, essentially. And I can tell you guys as well, they started Warden, I believe, in BC, and it's still an update in progress. In fact, they didn't get rid of most of the gold cell and the bots until probably Kata and Mop, and those are 4 to 5 years apart. So I'm gonna say right now, guys, it's anyone who's saying it's super duper easy to get rid of bots just like that is absolutely, cheating themselves. It took Blizzard a long time to get rid of bots and scripters out their game. In fact, there's still even bots and scripters in the game as well, like kick scripts and stuff like that. Even League of Legends, they have people who script as well that, are still in the game and stuff like that. But obviously not undetectable, but that's just, besides the point. Is that you shouldn't be saying a game's crap because there's bots and RMT in it. Those are always going to exist. If you're quitting the game because of that, then I think you're just looking for an excuse to just quit the game yourself. Generally, when you quit the game is when you just don't find it enjoyable for yourself, okay? If you don't find it enjoyable, if you don't like it, maybe go on to another game. Maybe you've burnt out. I don't believe for a second a lot of people quit because of RMTs and bots and stuff like that. RMTs and bots don't really affect you as much as you think they do, okay? They really don't. It's your own enjoyment of the game. If you enjoy doing the Voltan raids of pugs, if you enjoy doing the grindy content, stuff like that, it's your game. But if you don't enjoy it, then quit. That's pretty much it. Some people go we should try and make it better. Well, if you don't enjoy it, sometimes you just got to quit the game. If you don't feel like they're respecting your time or your time that you spend playing the game's not fun, it just quit. It means usually people have moved on from the game. You don't have a good community in the game because you haven't really gone out there and talked to people and stuff like that. It's what happens, it happens, okay? I'm not saying you're a bad person or anything like that for quitting the game. It just happens, unfortunately, okay? And like I say, the bots, the RMT, all the jazz are just white noise, okay? They don't impact your game as much as you think they do, okay? They do not, okay? I've not encountered many bots in my Guardian raids, my Chaos dungeons and stuff like that. Haven't really encountered them that much at all, okay? They just really keep to themselves, ironically enough. Now, if you're an AH flipper, I guess they can impact the prices a bit, but overall, they don't impact your gameplay much at all. Okay, even the RMTs you show off, who cares if they've got plus 25 armor and stuff like that? If they can't dodge a Voltan blast or a Vicus blast, they're just gonna be, having no fun whatsoever despite buying the best weapons in the game. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed another state of the economy and my discussion of bot farming as well. And I hope you guys have a great day.